in front of you and shield. Turn your feet. If you're going to point at grandma, keep your shield and spear here, okay? Hold that up high. There you go. No. Hold that high. There. Because what you want is to walk.
You know why that's heavy?
Hold it.
Because the other guy that has one of those can't push it through that shield.
There.
And that keeps him from hitting you with it.
There, perfect.
Now, the story behind that is
Lower.
that's actually real. That was a shield that somebody used to protect their lives. And that spearhead, same thing, it's a real spearhead. And it's from Saudi Arabia. And there's a city in Saudi Arabia called Mecca. Can you say Mecca?
Mecca.
And all of the people there, in their religion, they have to go to Mecca. And if they go to Mecca, then they get to go to heaven. And so on their way to Mecca, they'd have a lot of armaments like that shield and that spear. And they would use that to protect themselves so they wouldn't get killed before they got to Mecca. But once they got to Mecca, because they got to go to heaven, they weren't worried about getting killed. So they would leave all their armaments in the cities around Mecca. And then the Americans would go over there and buy them for 10 cents on the dollar because there was a surplus there, and they'd take them home and they'd use them for displays. And your great-grandfather, who you met when you were a baby but surely don't remember, my dad, bought those when we lived in Saudi Arabia back in the 1960s. The shield is probably from much earlier. Don't know.
Do you know how long ago 1960 was?
No.
I'll give you an idea.
Okay.
1960 is the year that Grandma Nana was born. I think one of you was 60 also, right?
58.
Yeah, 57.
Oh, okay, close. So that's how old.
So you're young, Grandma.
That's how
There's
old.
more to that. This,
You look so cool, man.
Saudi Arabia has lots of sand.
Here, let me take that spear.
Saudi Arabia has lots of sand, and this also came from Saudi Arabia, and this is what the Arabs wear so that they can protect themselves from the sand. I'm guessing your head needs to be a little bit bigger, but let's see, hang on a second. Let's see how this is gonna work.
It's so rad.
This goes over your head like this, and then this keeps it in place. And darn, if you don't look Muslim right away, once you cover up that curly white hair,
Oh my gosh.
Let me see you.
I can see you.
You dirty infidel.
Say, hello.
And now you can take your spear and your shield, and you
Now,
can
if you reach
like
for a
that
cell
and yell.
phone, someone will probably shoot it.
Okay, now this belonged to your grandfather. Do you know who your grandfather is?
Oh, I can't remember.
You can't remember? Let me give you a hint. He's not real skinny, and he lives in Texas,
Yeah.
and he used to have a shield and a spear, but he doesn't anymore.
Oh.
Now, do you remember who your grandfather is? Mm-mm. Well, he's married to your grandmother, and your grandmother likes to take lots of pictures and videos,
Yeah.
and
They own a dog named Newbie.
she says, so now do you remember who she is? Do you know who your grandmother is? Okay, and who's she married to? When I was a little boy, not too much older than you, I used to have a pet. And my pet was a bird, and the bird was a falcon. And a falcon is what we call a bird of prey, and that's a bird that likes to catch and kill other animals.
Yeah, and what was its name?
I have no idea.
Oh,
That's a really interesting and very appropriate question. And I have no doubt I had a name for it, but I don't remember. But anyway, so this is called a perch.
yeah.
And what I would do is I would put this in the ground, and there was a tether, a piece of leather that was tied to here that hooked onto my falcon's legs. And I had a big glove, and I would teach him to fly back and forth between the perch and my wrist. And when he'd land on my wrist, I'd give him a little piece of meat, because they ate meat. So we'd have a bunch of meat, and I was training him to fly back and forth, because eventually when they get older, then you teach them how to fly, you turn them loose and they can go catch things, and then you have a piece of leather on a stick that you swing around your head, and they'll come flying back for that piece of stick that you have, and then they'll land on the spur chicken. You were teaching them how to be a pet that was trained. So that's also another thing you get, again, from Saudi Arabia. And this is the last thing you have.
What?
This is a belt, probably worn by the same kind of people who had the sword. And you see these little things right here?
Yeah.
These are made of real silver. Okay?
Real silver?
Right.
Oh my god.
And so what would happen is they
Yeah.
would wear the belt, and then when they buy stuff, they would pull these off and use them to pay for the stuff that they were buying.
That's funny. How do you get them off?
Well, you don't want to get them off because they're kind of an artifact now. And so that's just part of the reason that they're on there. That's how that would be.
Buddy, please don't try to repair any of this, okay?
But I need smaller bows that way so things that are shorter will actually fit on me.
Yeah, you might just use these for a display somewhere, but I'm going to give them all to you, and you can decide, you and Jeremiah can decide how and what these, but you were so into things like swords and spears and shields that I just thought you'd appreciate these things, that you were going to end up with someday anyhow. Now, there's one more piece to the puzzle that I may or may not have any control over. There's a sword and a dagger, and it's a real sword and it's a real dagger. And have you ever seen what a sword from Saudi Arabia looks like?
No.
It's not straight, it curves like this, okay?
It's made for slicing.
Now, when you go, you're gonna go see Aunt Mandy, right? And your Uncle Jack has both the sword and the dagger. And when he became a master in Taekwondo, I gave those to him.
Why did you give them to him?
Well, because he was an expert with weapons, and he became a master, and that was a gift that I gave him.
Whoa.
I'm gonna ask him if he will leave those to you in his will, so someday you will have them too. If he turns me down, you're out of line. But I'm guessing we'll be able to pull it off. And so when you go see Aunt Mandy and Uncle Jack, you can ask them if you can see the swords, because they're part of this same collection that I just gave you the rest of.
We already decided he gets his first sword when he's 6.
Huh?
We already decided he gets his first sword when he's 6.
Yeah, well, he'll probably get this one when he's my age.
Yeah.
So, and I think probably playing with this part is good. That other part, if you ever want to put that in the yard, is okay, but this part's sharp, so you want to let Jeremiah tell you when and how you can use it. Okay? Any questions?
No.
You can play with that. That's part of the same.
You like that, Devin?
What do you say, man?